I want to thank the hardworking men and women in Calhoun and Kalamazoo counties for lending me their most precious support, their vote. And I want to start my speech by looking back and first thank Speaker Andy Dillon and Republican leader Kevin Elsenheimer for your work to improve the things that you saw were wrong in the House and for your help in transition in 2010. In 2011, on the day you, my fellow representatives, elected me to be your speaker, Tim Martin, who was at the AP at the time, wrote that we were charged with helping improve Michigan's economy and state government budget. There were two goals facing us because we were facing a state that had lost over 800,000 jobs, had a $1.5 billion structural budget deficit, had no money in our savings account, and had mounting debt and unfunded liabilities. On these two fronts, state budget and jobs, you rose to the challenge, and then you helped achieve more. On opening day in 2011, we discussed cutting our office budgets, enacting a true 4-year limit for able-bodied adults to receive welfare, reforming bridge cards to curb abuse, completing the budget by the beginning of June with a forecast for a second year, well, before the governor called for it, but who's keeping score? Repealing the MBT, reforming taxes for a lower, simpler, and broader tax structure, discussing difficult issues, including right to work, and yes, a stricter dress code with a predictable calendar. With your work, we accomplished every one of these goals. On opening day in 2013, we talked about repealing regulations, with now almost 2,000 gone, improving education and prenatal care, offering a quality education for every child in Michigan, regardless of their zip code, expanding early childhood education, achieving accountability for colleges and universities, expanding skilled trade opportunities in education, continuing to balance the budget by the beginning of June, and paying down debt, along with fixing the roads. Okay, maybe we have more work to do. With your work, we've made progress on each and every one of these goals. And during that time, from the hotly contested issues like right to work, MBT repeal and tax reform, reforming government employee benefits, and changing unemployment and welfare, to the bipartisan achievements of providing coverage for autism, repealing the PPT and its stifling of jobs, reforming binding arbitration for police and fire in Public Act 312, reforming Medicaid through Healthy Michigan, and delivering Detroit's bankruptcy settlement for the entire state. You always rose to the challenge, debated with passion, and boldly took a stand with your vote. We are now a Michigan that has over 300,000 more jobs. Today announced the lowest unemployment since 2006, 4 years before we were asked to lead. A structurally balanced budget, over $500 million in our state's savings account after settling Detroit's bankruptcy, and less debt with a plan to be debt-free in about 20 years. I have no doubt, because of your work, you are leaving a Michigan better than you found her. I am not perfect, and unfortunately, I have demonstrated that very publicly. Just to really demonstrate my accuracy, I've even proven it more than once. I do ask, would you please forgive me? I hope I have learned from each and every one of my mistakes and improved because of all of them. As painful as they were for me, what I'm really sorry about was for others who might have been hurt by them. To Democrat leaders Hamel and Greimel, you are fierce competitors, worthy adversaries, and valued friends. Thank you for your professionalism and your efforts. Where we couldn't agree, you disagreed professionally. And where we could work together, you almost always did. Governor Snyder and Senate Majority Leader Richardville, we had our professional disagreements, but we never stopped working towards achievement. I enjoy working in an atmosphere where there's a determination, dare I call it relentless determination, to not let a problem go unsolved. Throughout all, I have enjoyed the hard work and strong support of dedicated staff. From the very beginning with Derek and Phil to my current office, so many have helped, including Suzanne Miller-Allen, whose planning, organization, and drive are unmatched. Norm Sari, who stepped bravely into uncertainty with a steady hand, both at work and at home. Phil Brown, whose dedication and loyalty are unparalleled. Jeremy Henges, whose strategy and knowledge were key. Ari Adler, your wit is only outmatched by your talent. Brian Mills, once we could get you to share an opinion, you challenged me. Brock Swartzel, we promised you the job would be interesting, and you delivered brilliance. Hassan Beydoun, your challenge became my challenge. I hope you grew, because I know I did. I want to go on for every staff member and every member in this body, but I do not wish to keep you as long as Representative Olunda did. So I would like to publicly recognize and thank Craig Ryan, Ken Osborne, Lindsay Vogelsberg, Anna Heaton, Jean Lutherlow, Kristen Fair, Eddie Sleeper, Julie Skubik, Charlotte Schroeder, and former staff, including Scott Starr, Phyllis Brown, Gideon DeSandro, Joe Bauman, Michelle McQuiston. And though I get told regularly where to go, and by a lot of people, nobody tells me where to go any nicer than Laura DeBrill. To Tim Bolin, Clerks Randall and Brown, Chief Dixon, Marianne Cleary, John Bowman, and all of your teams, thank you for your dedication. I know that when we agree at 5 p.m. and walk out the building, for many of you, your work is just beginning. I'm not saying I'm rooting for that tonight, but I hope it's possible. Thank you for helping make the institution better than you found it. To my colleagues, thank you for your support, your spirit, and your work. You inspire me, and I firmly believe that the House and the state are better because of your time here. To my special friends, Jim Stamas, John Walsh, Joe Haveman, and to prove that we were about diversity and not just J names, Wayne Schmidt and Pete Lund, thank you. Throughout it all, I never looked over my shoulder, pretty rare among political teams, nor did I ever worry if there would be help with the task ahead, no matter how big that task might be. I knew you would be there. With you, I further knew our team would deliver. And with you, I knew I had the trust and support of brothers. John and Jim, you were right to start with your families first. To my family and to my real brothers, my dad and Betty, Matt and Maureen, and Eric and Melissa at Fort Bragg, thank you for your unwavering love and support. My dad and brothers all earned a military and police uniform. They have faced sticks and stones and the threat of broken bones, while I merely had to remember my mother saying, "Names will never hurt me." I thank you for your service and your dedication. To my love, Molly, to our kids, Nick and Megan. It all started with a family trip to Boston and Philadelphia. Maybe that wasn't an objective trip to ask you if we should run for something, but you had the grace to never accuse me of manipulating through vacationing. Thank you not just for your unwavering love and support, but also for your sacrifices. I'm sorry for the times I couldn't be there in person, and I'm more sorry for the times I was physically there, but mentally distracted. But I'm eternally grateful for the strength of your support and for the comfort and healing of your love. I want to close by looking to the future. To Speaker Kevin Cotter, I say I have no doubt our state and my kids' future are much brighter with this chamber and you leading. And I want to close by saying to Speaker Kevin Cotter, tag, you're it, no givebacks. Thank you.